DreamCollege.ai summer internship program. I'm very excited to have you all here tonight as we kick off our exciting journey into the world of digital marketing filled with creativity, strategy, and real-world insight. In tonight's social media world, right? Knowing how to tell your story and create content lot that resonate isn't just about marketing, it's all about the core skill that set you apart in college application and in future career. We are incredibly lucky to have our industry expert, Arika Hosinger, to be here tonight to give us an incredible training session. And she is the one actually behind the scene for the marketing strategy for Star Wars and Marvels. Wow, that's really amazing, incredible. Yeah, tonight she will show us how to turn true story into powerful brand stories. So get ready to take your notes, stay engaged, and ask great questions. The next I'm gonna give it to Arika.
Hi. Hi. Yes, hi. My name is Erika Holzinger. I have been a part of the video game industry for over a decade, working with brands like EA and a few other mobile game, video game producers that produced games for Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel as well. Huge Marvel fan, huge gamer. I have been working as a community manager, content creator, social media strategist for the last 7 years. And in that time, I had the opportunity to meet a bunch of influencers, go to a few Comic Cons and represent a few Marvel games, and do a lot of fun stuff and learn a lot. One of the things that I've learned about social media and promotional content in general, again, is, as we were talking a minute ago, is that all content is very dynamic. It changes rapidly. It adapts, and something that's relevant today is probably not going to be relevant 3 months, five months from now. Content cycles are that have a lifespan of 24 to 48 hours at the moment and keep getting shorter. And it's always fun to see where it goes, where it comes from, and where it's going to go. But today, we're going to dive into what is relevant now. We're going to dive into how to create content that's promotional, that's effective to sell a product, in this case, DreamCollege AI, and how to differentiate from content that's personal and content that's promotional. Let me share. Okay. I have 3 screens. So if I go like this, and like this, is because I'm like reading from different screens. Don't please don't mind me. I'm gonna try to read the chat, but if someone has a pressing question, please, Julia, interrupt me and let me know. I'm not always going to be looking at the chat.
Yeah, if you have question, please type in the chat, okay?
Okay, let's dive right in. Okay. Promotional content through social media is the biggest thing right now. It's the way to promote. Anybody that isn't doing social media ad campaigns is missing out. Both organic and paid content have a lot more influence than any other platform. Email marketing has its use, but content creators are, at the moment, the most effective way to sell. That's a reality. A few numbers here, so that you guys know, is 76% of people in social media platforms trust real recommendations over ads. That means they look for real people selling products through social media, and they're more likely to buy that than looking at a pamphlet, watching a branded ad, or through any other digital media marketing style product that out there that isn't social media. 85% of social media users have bought something because of social media. I myself have been part of the TikTok made me buy it several times. If I see something, I try to not get influenced, but I have been several times, and I consider myself very hard to influence. It is easy to relate to a story online and buy something, or just check it out and be interested. Convert from awareness to conversion. 70% of people prefer seeing real people instead of actors in branded videos. I know you all know that. I know you'll have seen an ad and thought instant scroll. It's sometimes you have those people like telling you a story that seems crazy, and right now there's spicy cubes going on. It's a trend at the moment where there's an insane story, and at some point they mention spicy cubes in order to make you buy those, and it's like a product going on everywhere in the TikTok shop. It sells. You get hooked in, and you end up buying a product. When it comes to Dream College AI, it matters because you're not necessarily promoting. You are helping other peers succeed. You're helping other peers find the product that matters, that helps them get into college. It's your experience, your success experience can be someone else's success experience. When you're selling, when you're promoting, you're just telling your story. And because of that, it's useful, it's real, it's authentic. And because of that, it sells. It's not something that you scripted. It's not something that you were forced to tell. It's an actual real experience. Bye-bye. Personal influence in social media has a high level of impact. It means that you can be relatable. It means that, again, you can show your real experience. You can show something that's authentic, something that's unique, something that other people didn't think about. When the questions that you had are the questions they had. The issues that you faced are the issues that they are facing. The answers that you found are the answers that they're missing. So when you're selling something, when you're talking about Dream College AI, you have to convey that. You have to answer questions. You have to be helpful. You have to tell them how it guided you, how the product solved an issue for you. You have to help them find the solution they didn't know they were looking for. Formats that currently work, for example, for Dream College AI, are, for example, a day in my life as a senior applying to college, short video formats, 30 seconds or less, hooks that are very quick, dynamic, something that catches your eye, text, speech, content. For example, what I wish I knew before applying, and then you semi-trauma dump on someone, basically stating what issues you faced and how Dream College AI solved it. Again, your story is the hook. Your story, your personal experience is the hook. The voice, your voice will build trust because it is real, it is authentic. Currently, 2024, 2025, this is what performs. Subtitles, this has been the case for a few years now. Adding subtitles increases the likelihood of people watching the content to the end. This is both for personal content and for anything promotional, but even more so on promotional content, because people don't like ads. That's the reality. Being authentic works, again, both on personal and branded content. Authenticity is, it's what we all want, something authentic in our life. We don't want to be lied to. We don't want something that's scripted. We want something that's real. So screen recording, selfie style, anything that's relatable, anything that has an experience. I know, again, different generations film different ways. I still do that because I'm old. But again, that's my reality. That's my authentic way. So if I am communicating to my other millennial peers, I'm definitely going to screen record that way and actually connect. Quick delivery, strong hooks in the first 3 seconds. Data shows that anything after 3 seconds, it's a lot around that time. If you didn't deliver your hook within those first 3 seconds, you're losing people. We don't have the attention span for more. It's easy to scroll away. So if we hear something we're interested in the first 3 seconds, we're going to stay. It needs more watch time. So again, deliver the hook line within those first 3 seconds. Brand it right away. I cannot state this enough. Marketing is all about repetition, repetition, repetition. 63% people will 63% higher click-through rate. Click-through rate means actually going to, for those that don't know, means going actually to the website or visiting the TikTok shop or visiting the product itself, going from your content to the product. 63% increase in click-through rate when the key message is delivered within the first 3 seconds. And this can be anything from, this is how Dream College helped me find my ideal college, to this is my dream college without actually mentioning DreamCollege.ai, or to look at this tool, look at this amazing tool that I found, and having the tool behind you with the logo right there. Even if the person scrolls away, if they see a video 5 times and the words Dream College are in there, it just sticks. Little by little, it sticks. That's just psychology. Keep any video, you'll definitely know this, but I'm going to repeat it. Keep every video under 30 seconds. No more. We don't have the attention span for more. Real, it needs to be real. It doesn't need to be perfect. There are several studies out there stating, and it's known. I'm pretty sure you'll also prefer videos that are from real people, even if they're filmed with low lighting, if they're a little bit grainy, if they don't have perfect transitions. The content needs to be authentic over being perfect. It doesn't matter if you don't have the best camera out there. It doesn't matter if you film something a little bit blurry in a blurry way. We use filters for everything. It just needs to be authentic. Currently, the basic formula for content is hook, story, call to action. And we're talking about promotional content. If it is personal content, you don't necessarily need a call to action. But if you're doing promotional content, you definitely need to add a call to action at the end. This means actually stating, oh, try it for yourself, link in your bio, or oh, you can find it here. Anything that delivers where to find the product, so it doesn't leave people hanging and searching for something that they don't know where to find. We're gonna go over hook, story, and call to action right now. So, hook, again, as I stated, 3 seconds to deliver your hook. It needs to be a short sentence, short text on top of you. Anything that they can read or listen to in 3 seconds, preferably listen to. Reading requires a lot of effort, and that means scrolling away. So if they can hear it and there's a subtitle there, much bigger impact. You need to create an engaging hook that captures attention. We're talking about hooks. We're talking about sentences that deliver something that will create an impact. Even if it is, let's try not to be controversial, just to create an impact. But anything that sounds interesting will stick. We stay for stuff that sticks. Sometimes for the wrong reasons, sometimes for the right reasons. Try to make it impactful, and try to keep it great. Try to keep it specific. Story. When you're telling a story, you're trying to build emotional connections. It delivers emotional emotional connections deliver better than dry stories. If you're trying, it connects. Again, it connects back to being authentic. Something that's related to you, that's a little bit emotional out there. We're not talking about like just trauma dumping. We're not talking about just having an emotional explosion with no, we're talking about something that's personal enough. We're trying to create relatable connections with people. Again, you are the example. You are students. You went through the issues that other people are having. So people are going to connect with your stories because you are the example. You are the product itself. You build the connections. So it resonates. I'm gonna go over the do's and don'ts of promotion a little bit slower this time because I think I'm going a little bit quicker. A little bit quickly. Do's and don'ts of promoting a brand. As we talked before, you gotta promote the brand right away. It needs to be in the first few seconds of your video. It needs to be natural, but it needs to be in the first few seconds of your video. Try to integrate it into the story. Again, this is how DreamCollege.ai helped me find the college of my dreams. Or these are my dream colleges. These were I never thought I was going to get into my dream college until I did this. I know that's kind of it's used a lot and it's kind of cliche, but again, it works. Stuff like that. Use your voice and your real experience. Again, you are the product. You went through these issues. You know how to connect. You have the right stories to tell. Your experience matters. You matter. Your path matters. So sell that. Talk about that. Explaining in different ways. Be creative about it. Use any form of video that you like. Again, it doesn't need to be high quality. You can paste the product behind you and talk about it. You can showcase what it felt like to be admitted into a college. You can talk about whatever you want, as long as it is your own voice and your real experience. If it sounds fake, it just comes through. You can feel a fake story. Well, you all know that you have to film vertically. I don't need to tell you this. Nobody is filming horizontally anymore. But like, again, film vertically, use captions, and keep it natural. Those are base concepts of filming video for social media in general. Be funny or be serious, but make it engaging, and make it quick. Jump from point to point real quick. Don't stay on something. Don't stay land the funny land the line real quick. Be serious enough, but be quick about it. Don't stay on the story for too long, like I'm staying right now on this point for way too long. It is important to state that being funny or serious is a thing in itself. Unless you're a trained comedian, it may or may not land. Again, it's important that it is authentic to who you are. If you're trying to use or mimic someone else's style, if you're trying to mimic another influencer, if you're trying to copy someone else's style, if you're copying someone else's content, it's going to look like you are copying someone else's content. It's going to come through. If you write the script based on something else that you've seen, you're going to be able to see it through the video. And it's because it's not something that comes naturally to you. It's not something that you're making up on the spot. It's something that you took from someone else and mimicked. It just feels a little bit fake. And when it comes to promoting a product, that loses a lot of attention. Because again, we are looking for ads that don't look like ads. We're trying to get hooked on content that doesn't seem like an ad. You should not even know that it is an ad until you were sold, basically. So keep it authentic. Make it Find what's unique to yourself. Find what's your own style. Talk about how the product helped you specifically. Again, I cannot stress enough how important it is to just talk about your own experiences. You guys went through an entire process. You guys applied to colleges. You guys used the product yourselves. You know what everybody else, what other students are looking for. You know what everybody else is facing. So your issues are their issues too. You have the answers to their questions. You have to talk about that when you're creating promotional content for this and any other product. If it were, for example, again, a lotion, and you were talking about it, you wouldn't state something like, oh, this lotion is great. You have to talk about the specifics of it for people to actually be interested in buying. To state, oh, this cured my acne. Specifically, oh, I had bad acne because I've been wearing makeup. Oh, this cured my acne after 5 times of applying it. Specifics work. When it comes to this, it's like, okay, I didn't know how to write an essay. I was not sure what this college was looking for. This is the essay that I wrote with the help of DreamCollege.ai. It asked me to do this. It asked me to write it this way. I didn't know this is what they were looking for, and I felt like I had guidance. Work with your own stories. Sell it. Again, 30 seconds or less. Quickly. Find your own niche. Explain, react, tell stories, be the real talk voice, but don't do all the things at once. People tend to follow influencers that are specific in their content, that actually are professionals in their own content, that have the same format over and over again. People who read Reddit stories, always read Reddit stories. People who play characters, always play characters. People who react to something, always react to something. People who give advice, always give advice. The format, stick to the same format. Eventually that will sell. It's also very hard to find originality when you're trying to do the same thing over and over again. And it's why a lot of influencers get burnt out real quick. But it's going to create it's going to attract a lot more people. I would say here, oh, I'm reading, how much do hashtags matter, or is it worth optimizing SEO? When it comes to, we're talking about specifically content creation on social media. Hashtags matter on different platforms. I would say Instagram, yes, definitely. Hashtags still matter on Instagram. TikTok, not so much. The algorithm of TikTok has been optimized to the point that it doesn't require hashtags to reach the people that it's supposed to be reaching. It will read the content of your video rather than actually reach people through hashtags. It's more so for people who want to actually click on the hashtag and follow it. Because for example, I would state DreamCollege.ai, hashtag DreamCollege.ai should be something that you're always using. So either TikTok or Instagram, or God forbid, Facebook and YouTube Reels too. But those are instances where you do want to use a hashtag. When it's personal content, honestly, there's not really a need. Again, the algorithm will actually read the video and redirect it to people who are interested. They're very good at doing so. If you're promoting a campaign, for example, most of the time, old school Instagram would force you to create a target demographic. TikTok does not. It automatically finds the people that are related to your video by basically reading what the video is about and then targeting the people that are meant for it. It's really good for it. That's how, again, social media is advancing. Does that answer your question? Perfect. again, I'm here for any questions, please ask. Again, don't be generic. It's great, will not engage. Be specific. Specific attracts people. Don't copy someone else. Don't overact. Don't mimic other influencers. Again, if you're already established, go ahead and do so. If you have a good like a decent amount of followers, people will come back and will find it funny when you're like mimicking or following trends. That's the point where you start creating reactive content and react to trends in that way. Because again, you already have an established base. If you don't have an established base, it is generally recommended to be unique, to be your own, to find your own niche, because that will start creating a follower base for your own product, for your own brand. And when it comes, again, oh, I'm reading the question. Which is the best platform in your opinion if we want to market our product? YouTube versus TikTok versus Instagram. Which platform brings more audience? Well, that depends on your target demographic. Again, if you're targeting people specifics, I would say Gen Z, absolutely TikTok. That's yes, 100 times yes. YouTube is king. YouTube is S tier content. Everybody watches YouTube. It's also the most expensive one to promote. I would say, again, TikTok has a lot of opportunities for marketing when it comes to social media. And I would say if you're targeting millennials, if you're targeting specific demographics, you still want to go through Instagram. Younger millennials are definitely going to be on TikTok too, especially moms. Instagram is still very popular for millennials, and it's easier to create an ad campaign on Instagram because you still can use still content, and still content is very easy to generate, especially with AI. If you use Sora, if you use Canva, you're going to be able to create an ad like this with little to no investment, because you don't have to. Creating video takes more time for now, I would say. So it's also a little bit easier to, but again, it depends on your audience. If you have, let's say you're targeting students, 100% TikTok, yes. And YouTube, if you're specifically targeting content like I'm going to say, I don't know, videos where they're going over exams or information and content that matters to the demographic. Oh, does that answer your question? Is there anything else that I can answer regarding? It's a very broad point. Yes. There's a lot of information out there regarding how to narrow your target demo and how to find specifically a platform that works best. But again, I would argue TikTok is currently the most influential one. Most of the videos start on TikTok and then get reshared on Instagram, reshared on YouTube. And a week of difference. The trends have like a week of space between TikTok and the rest of the platforms. So yeah. Okay, next question. If I create my own website, how can I attract people to visit my independent site? Oof. Well, it depends on your website too. Again, content, it depends on what you're putting out there. If the website is, what would the website be about, for example? I'm gonna wait for a minute. Because again, it depends. If you're creating a product, so if you're selling a product by itself,
Yes.
I would say you can use different shops, you can use, well, again, it depends on the website. What would the website be about? I want to know. Is it like a coder website? Is it a gaming website? Is it a product website? Is it a service website? What is it specific about?
It's like sell websites. It's like resell something on the website.
I'm gonna go through this. You can go through we can segment it through Google search, and we can segment it through, for example, let's say searching for the website or searching for it to be recommended. I would say you have Google searches and you have ChatGPT. You want the SEO for the Google search to bring it to the top results, and you want to create enough content where that's relevant content so that ChatGPT goes, reads it, and thinks it is the service and website to suggest. For example, let's say DreamCollege.ai. You want it to be a suggested website on ChatGPT, because people are writing an essay and they're like, oh, I need help with this. Can you like suggest how I should proceed? What should I do with this? And ChatGPT goes online, searches, and finds that service. So you want a bunch of articles in different blogs and podcasts to be written about something that ChatGPT is going to consider relevant to read and suggest it as a service. And you want the wording for each one of the blogs to be exactly that. Oh, this helps the student get to the admission, and repeat it over and over again. Target specific words. Even go and ask ChatGPT what it considers relevant for it to be something that's searchable, and creates a feedback loop and start putting that content out there. I would argue that's a problem right now because so many people are doing that the content out there is creating some sort of feedback loop with AI generated content going back into AI. But again, currently that's the way to make sure that it appears on ChatGPT. Or in Google searches, typical SEO, just using keywords, meta tags, the basics. What's your, wait, I think I missed one over here. What's your experience with influencer marketing? Is it our best way to contact them? And when is it useful? There is, specifically on TikTok, there is a fantastic creator program where you can actually connect as a business with creators through their TikTok One program. They allow you to contact them directly and basically connect and ask them to create content for you. They connect you with content creators. It's something that Facebook, Meta hasn't done yet. And honestly, TikTok is great. There are other sites you can also do influencer programs. There are a bunch of agencies that work with influencers as well. If you're looking for macro and not micro influencers. If you're looking for micro influencers, it's as easy as going to their site and messaging them and offering them something. Usually you can trade for product or pay them a fee as well. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so. Chris?
Influencer marketing? Yes, absolutely. Again, it's a hit or miss depending on how well the influencer works with your target demographic. I would say, again, TikTok has a really good algorithm when it comes to putting your content in front of other people. So your own ads are also going to reach the right target demographic. But it's great for creating content that you can repost afterwards and to use someone that's very relevant at the moment. Again, especially with I would say micro influencers are honestly much more relevant than medium and macro influencers, who usually ask for a lot of money and have a lot of specifics. Micro influencers have a good following that's very loyal. It's very specific to a niche because they worked on something that's unique. They created their own authentic voice and people follow that. So they trust that. Whereas with someone that's very big, it's a little bit more generic and the voice is a little bit broader. If you find someone that's a micro influencer that fits your product well, I say yes, you should put a lot of attention to that, to those people. And it's usually cheaper too, because you just need to trade for the product in order to get a little bit of exposure. I hate that word, but yes, exposure. Does that answer the question? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Would it be helpful to reach out to clubs like student council to spread the message at school? I mean, yes, that's definitely less. I mean, you mean in person, or like the profile, like a social profile? Because I'm talking about digital marketing over here. That's much more like traditional marketing, social and in person. Yeah, so absolutely. For example, let's say Dream College AI, I would say contacting teacher groups, teacher podcasts, anything that has that can spread the message is definitely very beneficial. If you're talking about socials, it would be kind of like looking for a collab. It works. It works in a way. It would work more in a way of what you can provide and what they can get out of it, and what they can get out of it, and what you can get out of it. Which, in your opinion, should be the most focused technique for persuasion in digital marketing? Emotion, credibility, or logic. Oh, well, again, I'm not gonna lie, emotion sells a lot. People are very emotional. Credible, something can be or doesn't need to necessarily be credible. People fall for a lot of things that aren't necessarily credible, but still go for it because they have an emotional attachment. Logic does not always work. It definitely works on certain scenarios. If you are targeting a lot of coders, if you're targeting software engineers, you're definitely going to go with logic because it's going to be less of an emotional attachment. But for like a generic product, I would say go for emotion. Emotion sells a lot. Beyond purely social media, would it be worth to contact more formal publications and journals that write relevant articles? Yes. Again, because they are going to be reliable outputs for your Google search / ChatGPT search. So that content out there matters. So you do want to have articles out there about your product. You do want to have promotional content out there about your product. Not for personal content if you're creating your own personal brand. But if you're selling something, absolutely yes. I would argue podcasts too, not only because they are out there, they can be in audio, in text, but you can also get snippets of the podcast and post it repeatedly on different media. And it looks very legit. Is there an emergence of a new way trend to promote market for apps or websites related to education stuff? I don't know how new it would be, but honestly, I hate to say it, TikTok definitely is connecting a lot. The edu talk is there. You have a whole education TikTok branch. So and you have a lot of influencers in the area too. You have content that connects. I would say again, TikTok is great. Podcasts, again, I cannot stress enough how useful podcasts can be. Despite the fact that one tends to make fun of them, podcasts are very useful for content creation too. You can use it on anything else. Again, it can go on your LinkedIn, it can go on a website, it can be a transcript that then is used for Google searches, it can be posted on social media. There's a platform named Whoop that also has got much popularity and got investment for Y Combinator and big famous entrepreneurs. This platform enables you to be able to get paid by famous content creators and music producers that will pay us handsomely if we use their content and get views. What are your thoughts about that platform in terms of if we market our product there and pay people to make content related to our product? Wait, I don't understand. Is it you paying famous content creators and music producers? so that you can use their content and get views. The content creators pay you to use your content, or like you're a producer, basically. You're producing the content, you're creating the content for them, and they can use it on their socials. Like as a contractor, you're creating content that's not necessarily yours, but you're just like contracted to create content and selling it to them, is my question. Oh, I mean, yeah, again. Yeah, again, yes. If depends on what you're doing. If you're, for example, creating video, it again, it depends on what you're trying to create. If for example, if we use their music and we get more than 1,000 views, we are promoting their music. Yes, that's useful for music producers. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily work for a music producer to have their music being used unless it becomes viral and it becomes kind of like a song that goes everywhere. Yes, I mean, it's just, that's just paid content. That's just that's a content creator getting their content out there. Are you asking if it's useful for you to pay someone to use your content out there in order to spread? Because that's what I'm not understanding. If that is the idea, yes. It's just basically running a campaign ad, but in a different way. I would argue that's more specific for like people creating music that want their music to be viral. If you want your product to be viral, I would just stick to a good TikTok ad campaign or an Instagram ad campaign, because it's going to target specific demographic that's related to your product. Whereas this is generic and it goes to whoever. You have no control where it lands.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of great questions from the students.
That's my take on that.
Enrique, do you have
It's very specific. I don't think it works, for example, for something the DreamCollege.ai. You don't control the audience. So I would just stick to something that is going to, because otherwise it's wasted money. Anybody that isn't related to your product, where your product lands, is wasted money. You're getting a view that doesn't matter, so to speak. Content is not necessarily views and follows. It's click-through rate, it's actual engagement. So if it doesn't create a conversion, at the end of the day, that was lost money.
Yeah, good points.
So to speak. Any other questions?
Yeah, Enrique, maybe we can continue your slides and have another Q&A session. Yeah, after your talk.
Okay. If there are no other questions, I'm going to move to the next slide. And it's super simple, super quick. It's trying to create a few, it's creating content for DreamCollege.ai. I think we already covered a few of these points. It's just showing the product in action, sharing results, and answering student questions. It's basically creating content that's relatable and not a pitch. And we're just going to move forward from this and compare real quick. We already talked about this. Personal content is very different from promotional content. You have your own content when it's personal content. Is both of them need to be authentic. Now, if it's not authentic, it won't sell. Not nowadays. Back 10 years ago, yes. Right now, people look for authenticity, something that's relatable and something that seems real. If it is personal, you can be relatable, you can be playful because you're selling yourself. You are your own brand. But if you're selling someone else, you're selling a product or you're selling a service, you need to be friendly and you need to be helpful and you need to fill a need, fill a void. It's not you're selling, it's something else, and that something else needs to be helpful to someone else. So if they don't find it helpful, if the content is just engaging because of you, it won't create a conversion. At the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do. Is you're trying to get them to be interested in the product. The goal, when it's your own content, is to share your own story. Again, if you're selling something or if you're recommending something, is to help others to trust the product that you're recommending, to trust your word for it. The hook style, again, the hook style will vary depending on the product that you're selling. But in the case of, for example, something like DreamCollege.ai, when it comes to something that's a software that helps you get into college, you are looking for product reviews and testimonials and again, in tutorials on how to use the product that will get a student to go, hey, I'm having that issue. I don't know how to get there. I'm really interested in getting into this university. How do I get there? And you're providing that solution. Whereas, again, if it is your personal content, if you're creating your own brand, if you're creating your own style, point of views, trends, it's playing with whatever works until you find something that does. Again, cannot stress enough how important it is to put a call to action at the end of a promotional content video. Do not leave it open-ended. It just, I mean, unless you're doing the whole spicy cube tactic where they're just like mentioning so that they creates repetition and creates awareness over like a bunch of random stories. If you're actually trying to get people to be interested and click on something, you have to let them know that there is a link to click and that there is a place where they can find it. You have to make it clear where to find the product that if they're interested. Otherwise, you're losing half of the people that were interested because they couldn't find what you were talking about. I would love to pause for a minute and start brainstorming it. I find that, again, it's nice to brainstorm when we're in a group and people start reading different ideas and start pinpointing and jumping from one to the other and taking them as inspiration and creating something new. Let's create some content prompts for something that would work for DreamCollege.ai. Let's say I have a few that, let's say that off the top of my head that I wrote that would be ideas. What would your ideas be? Let's brainstorm together. What would your ideas be to sell, for example, the service? And why do you think it would work? And for this, Julia, do you think we should unmute people or do we keep it in the chat?
Well, I think we should unmute because we want to make it a lot more engaging by letting them to talk. Yeah. Let's unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody want to start? If you have an idea, feel free, please share. Say something. Tell me what you would use, how you would share, how you would create content that you think would engage other people, where it would feel authentic, and why you think it would connect.
Yes, students, feel free to unmute yourself and voice out.
Yes.
I had an idea, but it's not really finished. But I was thinking about something along the lines of like, because you know how like recent news has been like the Harvard like international thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Maybe something along the lines of that, like as a hook, and then from there, maybe like fish it into Dream College AI.
Yes. Okay. As a hook, that seems like something, since it's relevant and it's nowadays, it can create engagement based on that, especially if it's opinion. Be careful with that because it can spark a lot of tension. And yes, it can go either way. Those topics tend to be very controversial. Again, controversy is great when you're creating content for your personal brand. That's great because it will create engagement and it will create views and it will create saves and it will create comments. But when you're selling a product, it's not that great because it's not based on views and saves and it's in comments. It's based on people actually being interested in the product that you're selling. So careful with where you take that idea and how controversial it becomes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's engaging. That's engaging, and it's the right mindset. It's the right mindset to start.
All right.
Yes. Anyone else?
I think I will probably find some content creators that's already posting stuff about their college journey, especially class of 2025 since they just graduated. And there's like a trend on TikTok. It's like, oh my God, my college decision journey. So maybe we can like have some collaboration with them. Yeah, like people who just get into UT, Georgia Tech, not necessarily all the Ivy League. So it just makes normal people, like normal students like us, feel like, okay, I think I can manage that.
Yeah, yes, relatable. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely great. Yeah, I'm reading honestly the patterns I study about Instagram, and some startups here in my country use that pattern to get a lot more engagement. Yes, and they started from zero. Wait, check your product and put it in the form of famous trend in that local area. Basically, understanding your audience and make it relatable content, and then make an emotional connection with it. Yes, yeah, making an emotional connection with. Yes, relatable content that makes an emotional connection is definitely, again, you are the best at understanding your audience. Students, you are students, you're connecting with other students. The things that you go through are the things that they will go through. The issues that you face are the issues they will face. The content and the hook that you create will have an impact because someone else has lived your experience too, in one way or another. How you deliver it is important. Again, as long as you're short, engaging, you're quick, it will land. At least, again, it will land. I would say still do stay away from controversy, unless it is content that is specific to your own brand, or you are a very established page. Stay somewhat away from controversy because it can create issues when converting people into a sale, or converting people in from awareness and interest into actual conversion. Oh, my throat.
I
But
had
yeah,
another idea. Oh, my bad.
yes, go for it.
So I feel like maybe like a college reaction video, like a I got into this college, and then maybe like to start out like the first 5 seconds are like them reacting to getting into like their dream college. And then like that's the hook, and then like here's how I got in, or here's what I used to help me find my dream college or something like that, and then maybe from there like plug DreamCollege.ai or something.
Yeah, that works, especially if you make it interesting enough. If yeah, the reactions work, especially if you're, again, if there's an emotional connection to them, or if they're funny enough, or if they're like colorful enough, as in like it. So there are weird videos out there. Weird tends to sell too. It's just a reaction. Again, if it generates a reaction on the people that are watching it, if it stops you from scrolling and you're like, oh, I'm also trying to get into college, and then you like continue listen to it. Again, it works. That works. Generating an impact in the first few seconds is what matters. Yes, is what matters. You have 3 seconds to sell it, and then people scrolled away. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Along the same lines of that, like people usually post their acceptances and their statistics like in high school all the time, like their GPA and their SAT or ACT scores. So while they're doing that, they could like mention Dream College as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you somewhat mention it in the first few seconds. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, especially if statistics to a point, because if it becomes too many statistics, it becomes a little bit too much. People again try to disconnect, use social media to disconnect and connect. Disconnect from like heaviness of life and connect with other people. So it would, so that content, you know, who it would work really well with parents. Content like that would work really well with parents. If there's statistics and if you're talking about like your SAT scores, parents who are very interested in supporting their kids and getting them to college are definitely going to be interested in content like that. They're going to be looking at like, this could be my kid. I want my kid to go through this. And then like, again, it says. I like that. Those are great ideas. Keep working on them again. And if it is something that is really, again, personal to you, the more to it, that again will much more successful even.
Excuse me. Based on my knowledge, according to like what I was thinking, like compared to like the people like those who are like interested or like have the potential to go to an Ivy League or any other top university, that genre of audience are like really low compared to like the people like those who actually want to go to like a normal like a state university. So like what I observed is most of the like the college AI related apps often talk about like the Ivy League.
Yes. Well, it's less, I would state it's less, it would be less related to the college they want to go and how motivated they are to get there. Because the people that are going to pay for a service that actually gets you to college are the people who are motivated enough to get there. Usually those are people that tend to aim for Ivy League schools. But that's not necessarily the case. They might be motivated to just go to college or just go to get there because of different reasons. If we're targeting a demographic that's, let's say, immigrants, and they're the first ones to go to college after their parents immigrated, they're going to just, for example, put some money in there to make sure that they're the ones that get there after their parents couldn't. It depends, again, what you're targeting. The message could vary. But yes, I guess like in this case, again, I'm not gonna go away, but yes, usually it tends to be Ivy League schools because those are the most motivated students to pay for the service. And you would be targeting the top students who are motivated enough to get there. Those are the people you want the content you want to reach right now.
Like that's because like based on like what I have, I mean before like DreamCollege.ai I saw like I kind of like saw like two different college AI related apps to, like I mean like I just kind of like explored through it. I mean they're like looking forward to like expand through to like reach all types of audiences like normal state universities, because the more like the highest amount of audience reach is most likely from like the people like those who like apply from state universities, because they tend to have more acceptance rates like compared to like a top university. So
True.
like
You're not wrong. Yes, that's true. But it also depends, again, it's less about what, that's again, you're trying to catch whoever wants in. You have to think about who's actually willing to pay for the service. You can A/B test. Easy, very easy. Create content that's meant for top students that are going to Ivy League or that are aiming for Ivy League schools, or not even focus on the school that they're going to, but on the fact that they're Ivy League, that they're top students, and that they need just help or assistance getting there, and then create something that targets Ivy League schools, and then create something that targets schools in general, or just more like less top schools, and see what performs best. If the performance is best on one or the other, you know what to target, you know what the demographic prefers. That's the fun of A/B testing. Marketing is A/B testing.
I mean yeah, I mean it's yeah, it's just like based on like what I found like in the according to statistics, like I'm speaking related to the statistics according to like the statistics based on like the other two AI like college related AI websites or apps.
Yeah, I would also argue that those again are very new softwares, and they're just again testing to see what works best. Because AI, everything is really new. I don't think they have. I don't know if they have defined their target demographic very well just yet.
I mean, yeah, I mean, most of them are like just started like last year or like a couple of years back. So
Yeah, I would say a lot of them are still testing to see where they find their audience and who's willing to pay. And that is, again, that's information that each one of the companies is going to have. Like, for example, you should talk to, again, the owner of said software, the owner of said product is the one that's going to tell you, hey, the people that buy our product the most are these people. Please, let's target them.
yeah, thank you so much for the valuable advice.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, also, again, A/B test. I continue to state A/B testing. Always A/B testing. Define your audience is going to change. Who knows? This year, let's say, for example, a bunch of people less people feel motivated to go to college. Next year, a lot of people feel motivated to go to college, and you broaden your audience. You gotta continuously test to see what lands. If that makes any sense. And I'm sorry if I seem like marketing is something that's very passionate. I feel a little passion for, especially for social media. Understanding how people think is very interesting. It's very dynamic and it changes a lot. So something that works for one company does not necessarily work for another one. And something that they test does not necessarily work. You should always compare. You should always do your market research and see what works for each of the companies and make initial decisions based on that. But from there, you need to test what lands. I take it that you do data science or you're very invested in data science.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I kind of observed, like, because everybody are mostly focusing on like the top universities, particularly compared to like, because what, like, based on my friend's opinion, like everybody, I mean, like based on like what everybody is saying, everybody requesting for like the state universities compared to like, I mean, not everybody, but like the most of them, like compared to like Ivy League, because like I mean, like that's what like the general requirement from parents or students, like based on what like I have been like looking into it for the past like few months or so.
Yes, I would say. Oh, there's a little feedback. I would say, again, it'd be interesting to have the data specific I mean, obviously not from their companies because you're not necessarily going to find it, but see what their target audience looks like and where they're actually selling, who they're selling to.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea to do the A/B testing.
Yeah.
The data inside. Yeah.
Oh, I see here. Can you share some AI tools that you use to create content? Oof, there is currently, I would say, for still images, I would say Sora. You can use less so Canva, and Midjourney. Great to create still content. I wouldn't state video content is very reliable yet. And it always looks AI generated. I know a lot of people say, "Ooh, blows my mind." I know Google is working on a lot of new video content generation. I'm still undecided in that area. I think they have a long way to go for that specifically, but still content, I would say Sora, Midjourney, and to a lesser degree Canva for not prompts, but for like copy. ChatGPT is great, especially if you have trained projects where you add a lot of data. I would say Notion is great to create the entirety of like of the project itself. It has a little it organizes it structures it very well. What else? Yes, and that's the one, the Google's new view. That's the one that I've been hearing a lot about lately. I am undecided as to I don't have a very, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Google's AI in general, but I am looking forward to actually testing the new model. Everybody's been raving about it. I know Sora cannot do video. It is terrible. But yes, yeah, I would suggest it, especially for, I think Sora is not available to the public unless you pay for ChatGPT Plus. I don't know. I don't know if the Google one is available to the public. Yeah, it's available soon. Yeah, it's still paid, and most of them are paid, which makes sense. Are these the results they posted? Okay, I'm gonna post this later on. I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. So that we can go over a few more questions without the screen.